Hey guys, and welcome back to the randomized K-On! Pokemon Team series. We're a third of the way through the K-On's Gen 1 teams, so now let's see what our fluffy keyboardist Mugi gets to use. Mugi's first Pokemon will be Kingler. That's a pretty good start. Kingler is quite a strong Pokemon to have on a team. Yeah, it does lack bulk, but that attack stat is huge. Those massive pincers are gonna cause a lot of damage. And its defense isn't half bad either, so it's gonna be able to take at least a couple of hits. It is a bit limited in terms of moves, being a pure water type, but the addition of ice moves is nice to help against dragon types. Overall, while I believe Kingler would classify as something of a glass cannon, feel free to correct me in the comments, it's a good way to start off this team. The second of Mugi's Pokemon is Golem. Nice, Mugi gets a solid rock type. No pun intended. This is definitely a good addition to a team. It has a decent amount of bulk, it hits pretty hard, and it has huge defense. Its moveset is also serviceable for what it is. But how does it use Fire Blast? Food for thought, since Mugi is so strong, who thinks she could pick up a Golem? Obviously that would be impossible, but wouldn't it be hilarious if she could? Seeing her holding this thing above her head, imagine everyone's expression. I would love to see that. For Mugi's third Pokemon, she gets Nidoqueen. Nice, Mugi gets one of the Nidos. Now I'm not really sure which is technically better between Nidoqueen and Nidoking, if one is better at all, but I imagine, like with the Kanto Hitmons, they both have their strengths. And hey, Nidoqueen is a good Pokemon. It's got pretty solid stats, even though they're not amazing, and its move pool is really good. There's a lot of options for you when using a Nidoqueen or Nidoking, even in Gen 1. You really can't go wrong using one of them on a team. The fourth Pokemon given to Mugi is Tentacle. Another fairly solid Pokemon. Having a Tentacle on the team would still be good, as it is a pretty strong water type. I mean, I'm pretty sure Wallace's has caused a lot of people trouble. It does only really have special and speed going for it in terms of stats, but 515 overall isn't bad. Its moveset may not be spectacular, but it's still workable. This thing would be a useful team member. And hell, even Misty would use one no doubt, given her love for water types. And given that Mugi is not really the type to scare easily, I can kinda see her using one. Moving to Pokemon number 5, Mugi gets Goalbet. That's a bit of a step down. Obviously, Crobat is a lot better nowadays, but that didn't exist in Gen 1. That's not to say Goalbet is a terrible Pokemon. It's got decent enough stats for what it is. It's just too bad its move list is pretty limited. But you could probably do well if you had a Goalbet if you used it right. I honestly don't know what else to add, so let's move on. Don't I make a great Poketuber? And finally, Mugi's last Pokemon for the team is Articuno. Okay, now Mugi gets one of the birds, and arguably the best one, at least in Kanto. There's not much to say about Articuno that I haven't already said for Zapdos. It's a legendary with very good stats, and unless I'm mistaken, ice types generally do better in Kanto than fire and electric types. It's not terribly impressive move-wise, but the fact that it can learn water moves to help against fire types is really good, as was evidenced when Ash battled Articuno in the Battle Frontier. And also, since Articuno is one of the most elegant looking Pokemon, I can see Mugi being mesmerized by it. And I totally believe she would want to ride it. Now wouldn't that be a sight? And that's it for Mugi's Gen 1 team. I'm not as happy with it as some of the others given the overlap in typings, but Mugi is pretty smart, so if she was a trainer with this team, I think she could do well. And given that she likes taking care of people, she would make a great trainer, as I know she would care very much for her Pokemon. As always, please rate, comment and subscribe, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, consider backing me on Patreon, and remember to stay chilled.